Good morning. So this morning we are here to have a chat, but also to give you some important information about coaching and what coaching is and how it can help you. So I'm here this morning with Hannah, and in a minute I'm going to let her introduce herself. But we've put together some questions that we're often asked as coaches, and we wanted to share some of our responses with you to help you get some clarification on what coaching is and what coaching isn't, and how it might help you. So Hannah, tell us who you are.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Magdarek from Kaizen Continuous Improvement Coaching Studio. As the name suggests of the company, I'm all about positive change and continuous improvement, which helps make change sustainable. In Kaizen, I work with people. I could name now types of businesses or sizes of businesses, but the reality is we're all human beings, and it is through our self-leadership and leadership skills that we tend to grow, and we grow our companies precisely through that as well. But there is a coaching side to my business as well that actually is quite unique. And this is what we share here with Melanie. Yes, shall we talk about coaching once you obviously introduce yourself, Melanie,
Absolutely.
as well, please?
Yep. So I'm Melanie Koshop. My business is Blue Diamond, and I empower mid-career professionals to take control of their work and life. So essentially, I help people who are in their career, and maybe they want to do something different, or maybe they want to get a promotion or a new role. So I can help them in different parts of their career. But essentially, I can help them rediscover passion in what they do or identify their next challenge.
Brilliant.
Great. So Hannah, first question for you then. What is coaching and what isn't it? Because I think we often hear a lot of misconceptions about what coaching is and isn't.
Yes, that's true. It's my favorite question, and one of the most disliked questions at the same time. But I'll take this opportunity to explain. Coaching in its professional sense, it's actually about using a certain structure and certain model and questions to help the coachee, the client, to actually discover things for themselves. We don't, as professional coaches, believe in giving advice in our capacity as coaches, because we know ourselves. We are the only people that know ourselves that well, and that we can help ourselves in the best possible way. So we kind of come from the place where we know that by offering someone advice, we disempower them. And we sort of assume that what we've got to say is better for them and more important, which is not the case. So it is questions, it is a structure, listening. So a professional coach is mainly a sounding board, really, which can be extremely effective. Not to say that it is more effective than any other intervention, but it's just a very different intervention. So sometimes people are surprised what it is about, but then once they've understood, once they've tried it, they're nicely surprised by how deep it can be. So I guess this is the fact that it's 100% about the client. The coach is not the hero, the client is the hero, and the session is all about them. The coach listens and maybe spends 30% of the time speaking. The biggest misconception, I would say, is the the frivolous way the word coach and coaching has been used, and basically it's very often confused with mentoring or advice giving, and professional coaching is really not that. Again, I would say that neither of them is better than the other, but they're very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are the differences then between coaches and mentors or advisors?
Okay, so a coach is basically an expert in the process of coaching, there have been some experiments, to give you a clear example of this, where, for example, a tennis coach would swap with a coach in a different area of sport, and they would coach their coaches. And it was actually more effective when it was the other coach that wasn't the tennis coach who would coach. They got better results because they weren't focused so much on the technique, but on motivating that person and how to get the best out of them. So I guess this is what it is, that, you know, focusing on the person and listening to what they really need, and sometimes also listening to things that aren't words. It's just the language, the face, the emotion, the body language, of course, as well, that makes the connection much deeper. And when it comes to mentorship, mentors and mentoring, mentors can be great. I've had mentors, and it's been useful. But it is actually assuming that the advice that you've got, your experience, you project it on the other person. And sometimes it may be helpful, but sometimes it may not be helpful, because we are different people. Our circumstances are different. So it may happen that that person will end up, for example, comparing themselves to us, or their advice just won't work. There is no guarantee that something that has worked for one person is going to work for someone else. Whereas if we've come up with a solution for ourselves, well, it's very unlikely it's not going to work for ourselves. And then we've got consultants as well. So I'd say consulting is probably the least personal relationship. Mentorship maybe is the most personal one, actually. But yes, consultants give advice. That's what it is. They're quite detached from the process, I think. And it's more maybe projects rather than people that they're experts in.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, you know, I've experienced all of those things. And I think with coaching, what's important for me is that kind of empowerment. So, you know, I'm in control of the solutions that I come up with, and I'm in control with the ones that I decide to go forward with. And that's what's helped me to then move forward quicker.
Absolutely.
When I've worked with a mentor, I think some of the ideas and advice that they come up with is great, but I don't always take that advice on and kind of go forward with it. And that's what I see as one of the key differences.